It's your road, and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. Choosing comfort over discomfort does not lead to a comfortable life. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. Problems are the price you pay for progress. Be patient and tough. Someday this pain will be useful to you. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. Being deluded and scared will make you suffocate. Being honest with yourself and responsible will make you breathe. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. You can win a lot in life just by being the last one to give up. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the book. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. One of my biggest life lessons is we heal at the speed of our forgiveness. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. Our suffering is caused by holding on to how things might have been, should have been, could have been. More important than the ability to pick the right one is the strength to walk away from the wrong one. Shallow men believe in luck. Strong men believe in cause and effect. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. We aim above the mark to hit the mark. You can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? If we all did the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. Challenge and adversity are meant to help you know who you are. Storms hit your weakness. but unlock your true strength. Despite everything, it's still you. Change the world by being yourself. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you are willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. The only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own thinking. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. With confidence, you have won before you have started. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. The discontent and frustration that you feel is entirely your own creation. People don't resist change. They resist being changed. If you wait for something, all that happens is that you get older. Just because your path is different from others doesn't mean you're lost. Life isn't fair. It's just fairer than death. That's all. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. It is difficult to make the right choice if you fear choosing wrongly. Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with the best you have to give. You grow up the day you have your first real laugh at yourself. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Maturity is when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. No matter how much suffering you went through, you never wanted to let go of those memories. Life isn't something you possess. It's something you take part in. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Go forth on your path, as it exists only through your walking. The art of living lies less in eliminating our troubles than in growing with them. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. Raise your sail and begin. That it will never come again is what makes life so sweet. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forwards. You can have it all, just not all at once. Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. The world stands aside to let anyone pass who knows where he is going. Your wound is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. Close some doors today, not because of pride, incapacity, or arrogance, but simply because they lead you nowhere. The things that you consider to be yours own you far more than you own them. The good life is not one immune to sadness, but one in which suffering contributes to our development. Sacrifice today for tomorrow's betterment. You are willing to pay those payments with pain because pain is just a message when you are fixing something that's insufficient in your life. Much suffering and much unhappiness arise when you take each thought that comes into your head for the truth. The journey to your success will always begin with the small step of taking a chance. You'll ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. Following a path is easy. Creating a new one can be painful, but it will lead you to new places. It is wise to keep in mind that neither success nor failure is ever final. You may have had unfair things happen to you, but the depth of your pain is an indication of the height of your future. The real man smiles in trouble, gathers strength from distress, and grows brave by reflection. If someone's words do not match their actions, get away from them. Sometimes it's the thought of someone leaving you, which is more painful than the pain you feel when someone leaves you. We feel guilty when we no longer want to associate with old friends who have not changed, but this is the price and marker of growth. The world will not become kinder to you just because you are a good person. Good people are the ones who are played with the most. In every success story, you will find someone who has made a courageous decision. Your life becomes so peaceful when your anger for the people who hurt you turns into sympathy for them. You cannot be afraid to disappoint people. You have to live the life you want to live. You will meet people who you just can't get along with no matter how correct you come. You can say and do all the right things, but will bump heads regardless. You have to walk and create the way by your walking. You will not find a ready-made path. The greatest thing you can give yourself is freedom from what others think. Change is scary because known challenges and pain are easier to accept than unknown ones. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself. Waiting for other people will cause you to miss out on some wonderful things in life. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. The people with the worst past can create the best future. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. One day you'll laugh at how much you let this matter. Don't just love yourself. Have respect for yourself. If you don't, other people will have no problems walking all over you. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Stop being so available to people who are only there for you when it's convenient for them. The highest reward for one's toil is not what one gets for it, but what one becomes by it. Clocks show time, and time shows people. Try to get what you love. Otherwise, you'll have to love what you got. If you can find paths without any obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. Obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're road signs. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. Recognizing that you are not where you want to be is a starting point to begin changing your life. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Difficulties are meant to rouse, not discourage. The human spirit is to grow strong by conflict. The pain you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that is coming. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing the poor hand well. Fear is just excitement in need of an attitude adjustment. Finding the lesson behind every adversity will be the one important thing that helps get you through it. Dreams happen when you're asleep. Hope happens when you dream while you're awake. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I have learned not to allow rejection to move me. It's not the load that keeps you down. It's how you carry it. A At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back to the same box. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. The days are long, but the years are short. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes, and move on. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Be careful the stories you're telling yourself about your current circumstances. A head full of negative thoughts has no space for positive ones. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Waiting is painful. Forgetting is painful. But not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Strong people have a strong sense of self-worth and self-awareness. They don't need the approval of others. If there was nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. I never change. I simply become more myself. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. Sometimes carrying on, just carrying on, is a superhuman achievement. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned, so as to have the life that is waiting for us. There is hope, even when your brain tells you there isn't. You only fail when you stop trying. Maybe the path that scares you the most is the one you need to take. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. Adversity is not a detour. It is part of the path. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents, which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant.